people actually use this loyalty, this hazy word, to do a lot of things that are not wholesome. Okay? It's pretty simple. Leadership is first and foremost responsibility. You should get used to taking responsibility for a lot of things. If you are driven by that mindset, you're going to ensure all the nuts and bolts are in place, because ultimately you're going to be responsible to someone and people are going to be responsible to you. What the Chief of Defense Staff did is definitely going to bring about a lot of concerns. I know colleagues whose children were lost. A particular one is my colleague. His son was just 6 months out of the academy, and we just got a call one day that it happened. And I can imagine how that father will feel if today the immediate past CDS says, this was what I knew. Now, for me as an individual, I have said it once on this forum that our leaders are given to this attitude of going the whole length of the way, come out and say, look, my hands were tied. I have my own response to that. If your hands were tied, were your legs tied? Walk away. Was your mouth tied? Speak up. But you don't go tune yourself into the mood, just tune yourself to mood, do it successfully, probably even fail successfully. Then you come out again and try to benefit from your malfeasance by saying your hands were tied. Okay? People will tend to you more if you take responsibility.
Which is what is happening now.
And begin to say, this is where I think we didn't do it well, and this is what can be done. And even the present service chiefs should begin to see what you did and start thinking of going right where you went left and going up where you came down. And all these things adds to what I'm telling you, that those ritualistic, rigidly cast cultural norms as they inform our army need to be revisited, because the generations that drive the successes of the army were not born when these norms were in vogue.
But you can't be changed overnight.
Just a moment, please. Just a moment.
I'm coming. Okay. You're going to say this. I want us to begin to wind down.
Okay.
But see what the former CDS said, that going forward, he's hoping that the military will be better equipped and funded, so that they will not have to go through the things they went through.
I agree with that, Mayo.
So they will not have to go through the things they went through in the past few weeks.
Okay.
He said something. He said the military asked for a 6 weeks extension of the election period, postponement of the election, and within that 6 weeks they got some equipment and were able to rout the insurgents.
To understand.
Now, as we wind down, let me add this question. Do you think those that have been recruited, even in this emergency situation, have the capacity to fight the insurgency? Is it time for Nigerians to seize, especially now that the Boko Haram insurgents, some of them are coming out to say, I'm a part of it, I renounce Boko Haram and all of that.
8 of them have renounced this morning.
Okay. Is it time for Nigerians to be a bit more relaxed and say, things are happening and we're almost there?
No.
Well, that you relax, to my mind, will be foolhardy. It will just be given an opportunity to regroup. And not only that, you see, insurgence has become a global phenomenon.
Thank you, sir.
To the extent that no nation, even if a nation is not experiencing it now, any proactive nation must have contingency plan to counter something like that. Because you see, we are witnessing a lot of socio-economic problems. Not talk of that of religion. And don't forget that people have been brainwashed, a lot of mind management, a lot of psychological warfare going about. I mean, for example, we had a case in this country where the son of a wealthy banker
went to an assist.
So what was he going to gain there? He knew that he was not going to get something, but he was brainwashed into believing that something was waiting for him up there that he would not get here. So we must be prepared like the Boy Scout. So it's a time for us to re-equip ourselves, to reorientate ourselves, to be re-energize our capacity,
can I just
our capability.
underscore what he said?
Okay.
You see, you were talking about renouncing of insurgents and whether Nigerians will relax. That's
Not relax, as in look forward to, we're almost there.
That's a no-no. We must maintain what you call the momentum. It's called continuous improvement. The fact that look, if you were in Nigeria, let me relate to Nigerians with football again. Sometime in, was it 89, we were in Saudi Arabia and we were down 4-0. And suddenly we came back 4-4 and probably went into penalties and beat them there 2-0. Why do you think that happened? They relaxed. Oh, we've scored 4 goals. They can't possibly recover with the time left. No, 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 no. We've started it. Let's see it through. Fighting terrorism for the army, for Nigeria, is a mental thing. It's an intellectual war more than it is physical.
So the equipping should be more mental than physical.
We must, you see, there is nothing you do physically that is not a manifestation of what you did mentally. Before you jump into the market to buy equipment, you must sit down and look at the subtleties. For example, the temperature levels there. Do you have equipment that can withstand them? Can your equipment withstand dust, the hard and wear of clogging up, and all those things? You have to think about them. There are little things that seem trivial, but they will embarrass you in big ways. Terrorism itself is one big party of intellectual rigor. The psychologist has a role to play. The food nutritionist has a role to play. What are your soldiers eating? They suffer what you call, it's called heat exhaustion by doctors. What can we begin to put into them that makes them more resistant to heat? Even how do you call them now? Is it fashion labels or the textile designers or whatever? They have a role to play. What kind of material can we sew this uniform with that will get them more ventilated? Then we are looking at the geologists and the geophysicists. They are supposed to look at the ground and tell us the parts of the desert where we can follow and not end up getting our heavy equipment trapped in sand. When you hear insurgents take our weapons, they lure you into some sand pit. Look, we have to think. Yeah. We are more manual than we are mental.
We want to also look at what President Buhari has said about looking inward and making weapons in Nigeria.
Yes, that's the kind of thinking we are talking about. When you go asking people to assist you with weapons.
We have to go.
Okay.
We should, just to follow what the president said about a defense industry, we have a daikon in Kaduna, thank God. We should just embark on the German theory, which says continuous improvement is better than delayed perfection.
Okay.
So all hands must be on deck.
Thank you. Dr. Yusuf.
Yes, we said it all, that it's a continuum. Okay. It can never end.
Captain Ali.
You must be prepared at the Boy Scout.
Finally, Captain Ali.
Sorry?
Closing statement.
Oh, closing, as I said, what we have is, I'm excited, is an opportunity for what? Mental, intellectual exercise. It brings us better, wiser, and stronger, not manualist approach to these things. No.
All right,
thank you so much for coming on this morning.
Thank you very much. We've learned a couple of things here, but we're speaking with retired Captain Aliyu Umar, security expert. Thank you for speaking with us.
You're welcome.
In the studio also we have Colonel Najim Shobo, a security expert as well.
Thank you very much.
And Dr. Fasi Yusuf, a communications consultant. Thank you for coming. We did reach out to the former CDS, and fortunately he couldn't make it. But thank you so much. We'll be back shortly for another segment. Please don't go away.